I'm Christine Persichetti with this Currents News update. Over the decades, it's raised tens of millions for New York's most vulnerable children. Now, after COVID got in the way, the Alfred E. Smith Memorial Foundation dinner returns in all its glory. Currents News' Jessica Easthope is in Manhattan with a preview.
It's a New York City staple, and after the pandemic forced it to go virtual last year, the Alfred E. Smith Memorial Foundation dinner is back and will be hosted here at the Jacob Javits Center in Midtown Manhattan tonight. The dinner, named for former New York Governor Alfred Smith, the first Catholic to be nominated for president by a major party, has raised tens of millions of dollars over 76 years for vulnerable children and their families in the Archdiocese. Though this year isn't exactly a milestone, the dinner will commemorate its 75th Diamond anniversary, with Condoleezza Rice as the keynote speaker. Rice is the former Secretary of State and the first black woman to hold the title. Last year, the foundation made its mission COVID-19 relief. It awarded $4 million to the Inner City Scholarship Fund's Emergency Tuition Assistance Program and the Archdiocese for its health services in the most hard-hit areas. Another $4 million was given to 16 different nonprofits serving families with much-needed health care.
With that funding, families were fed, mortgages were paid, and children were able to participate in school.
This year, both Cardinal Dolan and Bishop Nicholas DiMarzio will attend the dinner. It will be Bishop DiMarzio's last before his retirement.
People come together in a friendly, humorous way many times to just celebrate and, raise some money for charity.
In order to ensure safety during the pandemic, everyone attending is required to be vaccinated and wear a mask at tonight's dinner. In Midtown Manhattan, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
Texas's heartbeat law is causing an increase in abortion pill sales. That's according to healthcare providers like telehealth. The pill, which is legal in all 50 states, is commonly taken for pregnancies up to 11 weeks. This as Planned Parenthood reports an increased demand for services in states near Texas. Planned Parenthood of the Rocky Mountains, which covers Colorado, Nevada, and New Mexico, has seen a 200% increase in women from Texas seeking abortions. A former Planned Parenthood employee who was pro-abortion for 17 years had an awakening that led her to become a pro-life leader for the Hispanic community. She went from marching on the Capitol for a woman's right to an abortion to marching for life. Planned Parenthood whistleblower MAYRA Rodriguez joins us now. And MAYRA, first describe to us the moment when you realized after working for Planned Parenthood for 17 years, oh no, I'm not supporting this.
It's deception. That's how I can describe that moment. You're being with someone for 17 years and then you realize they've been cheating on you. That deception is what I felt at that moment.
Talk about what you saw firsthand about how abortion affects women.
After I had received the Employee of the Year award in 2016, they were like, hey, MAYRA, we need you to be the director of the biggest abortion clinic. And I knew that was bad news. I knew that was not good. Right. So then I started working at the clinic and seeing the complications go under the rug, not reported, and then I start seeing the damage, not only in their body, but their emotional damage, the psychological damage, how destroyed these women are. When they walk into the clinic first, you can see they're scared, right? But they seem to be coupled, like, oh, okay, in 15 minutes, my life will go on like normal, right? But then after their surgery, you can see them, they're worse than they walked into. They're in pain, they're sad, they're distraught.
So you're involved in a lot of different things. What is your mission? What do you want to see happen in the future?
My mission is to go around and tell the dangers of abortion, with the truth behind Planned Parenthood, and especially to the youth people, because they are the ones we're targeted by Planned Parenthood in our schools, in our community centers, right? I was part of that, right? So I want to undo the damage that I created, that I was helping create.
And thank you for the work that you do, pro-life leader MAYRA Rodriguez. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you so much, Christine, for having me. I hope to get to see you soon in person one day.
The Ohio-based group Christian Aid Ministries held a day of fasting and prayer Thursday for its 17 members kidnapped by a violent gang in Haiti. The gang is demanding $17 million ransom. The FBI is in Port-au-Prince. It won't disclose details about negotiations, but it's U.S. policy to never pay ransom for hostages. Meanwhile, fears of kidnapping are rising among other church workers in Haiti. One group from Milan, Italy, has placed an 8 p.m. curfew on its 300 missionaries, even as they try to help those in need of food and shelter following that devastating earthquake this summer. It's a plea denied. One Catholic chaplain's quest to open a religious chapel at LaGuardia Airport has fallen short. For the past 5 years, Father Chris Piasta has been pursuing an interfaith chapel as part of the airport's renovation. Instead, Port Authority developers built a meditation room with no services allowed. Undeterred, Father Piasta says he'll ask Delta Airlines directly to create the chapel. You can read more about Father Piasta's plea in this week's edition of The Tablet. Be sure to pick up a copy or log on to the website thetablet.org for the full report. Broadway casts and crews were locked out of their profession for 18 months during the pandemic. Tonight, the musical Mrs. Doubtfire returns to the Great White Way. Our Jessica Easthope introduces us to one of the show's young performers whose Catholic faith got her through the long holdout.
ANALISE SCARPACI has a new spring in her step. She hasn't felt this good since March 2020. You see that billboard? That's her up there. And after a long year and a half, ANALISE and the rest of the cast of Mrs. Doubtfire will be returning to the stage.
Our audience members, I just want them to have fun and allow themselves to feel joy again.
Broadway's long-anticipated return felt like it took a lifetime, both for New Yorkers dealing with the roar of the pandemic, but especially for the performers themselves. In that time, ANALISE, who plays Lydia HILLARD in the Broadway adaptation of the 1993 comedy starring Robin Williams, looked back often at the moment she landed the role of a lifetime.
Oh my God!
Once she dried her happy tears, she jumped into rehearsals. But her dream come true quickly became a nightmarish reality when 3 days into the show's run, Broadway's lights went dark.
Playing a role that is a dream of a lifetime, and now in 3 days, a virus is shutting it down.
A lifelong Catholic, ANALISE looked to her faith to get her through what she thought would be a few weeks hiatus, and turned out to be 18 months of no shows.
I put my faith in God every single day. My faith in Him is very important, and it's going to help me survive.
But it was a place a little farther uptown from Broadway where she first realized her faith became confidence on stage as an altar server at the Actors Chapel.
Every single Saturday, they had this special mass for Broadway performers. It's nice to have a community like that.
ANALISE knows it's her faith that allowed her to see the curtain rise once again. She can't wait to see you all there. In Manhattan, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
That is this Currents News update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news.